Big up Therapy Army. How are we doing? Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me clearly. Big up Stephanie Griffith. Big up, big up. Big up Lilas. Monty's in here. Jim Ratcliffe'S. Here we go, here we go. There we go, Monty. You're having it. I'm done with this club. It goes down like this anymore. I want the Glazers out. For me, this is what's keeping them here and not. Excuse me. Big up to you, Jamie. Hope you're well, bro. PR spin. There we go, here we go, there we go. Bring on to see a new director of football gonna change everyone living in a real delusion. Exactly. When Glazer's still making decisions, Jamie, this shit ain't shitting, bro. I'm telling you. Big up everybody that's here. Please smash a like on the video. The channel's been obviously shadow banned. But yeah, big up. Big up to you, those of you who are here joining us at this time. Big up to you. Radcliffe will done us, stopped our club from competing and became Glazer. Yeah. Yep. Salam alaikum. Big up, man. Salam, brothers. Big up, everybody. Big up Khalid from Medina Lassie, Chief Edit United Real Therapy. I don't know about that, Michael Connor. None of these knighting business. I'm not about none of this knighting business. That's British Empire, man. I'm not about that. British Empire. I charged the British Empire with horrific crimes, man. Horrific crimes. So I don't buy into all this sir business, me personally. I may not buy into this. But big up Khalees Robin last year. Listen, we've got a bit of a show for you tonight, people. We've got a bit of a show for you tonight. Been busy. Obviously, the channel is shadow banned. I can already see. Please let people know who your friends who watch this channel. Please let them know that yeah, the shadow's been shadow banned, basically demonetized and everything else. But I don't care about the demonetization. It's just that it's been shadow banned. So we've got that Ratcliffe 25% man UFC machine. For me, I said, question mark, this is a lot of air. I think it's a lot of air. Arnold was a Glazer Lackey, not a decision maker. He was just there. He was propping Joe Glazer. And then also we're going to call out the BS transfer hype. Too many people are clickbaiting you lot and getting you excited and giddy because something has to be giddy. But yeah, just breaking news tonight. Onana and Rashford both taking off. Both of them injured. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, man. Big up Michael O'Connor. Yeah, man. Big up people. Love and light, everybody. Yeah, so Onana, Rashford joined the injury list. Højlund and Eriksen as well. So yeah, injury FC. Here we go. Big up Michael O'Connor. Michael, I know, bro. I know you know, man. Big up to you. Big up to me. Cantona. Say, Cantona. Cantona is a man adjusting. You look at him. Looks beautiful in a Palestinian kit. By the way, free Palestine. There we go, people. Solidarity and love to all my Palestinian brothers and sisters in the world, wherever they may be. Hold tight to the people of Congo, another Britain, France, America, Israel, doing their bits over there as well. Involvement in multinational corporations who are raping and pillaging what's going on in the Congo. And also solidarity and love to brothers and sisters in Sudan, what's happening in Sudan. And then also big up to everybody what's happening in Ethiopia as well, in the Tigray region, and in parts of Somalia as well. War. Who wins? War, people, weapon manufacturers win, by the way. Weapon manufacturers win. Look at the stock, look at the New York Stock Exchange. Their things go right. See, that's that, people. They win. They always win. Monsters who wear nice suits and drive nice cars. They're the biggest monsters. Not the monster that as a kid that your parents tell you exists out there, that's scary, that's in the films. No, real monsters in this world wear very smart suits, have very expensive watches, drink very expensive champagne, fly on private jets, and hug their kids when they get home, while other people's kids are absolutely getting slaughtered to bits. And that's why the war machine must go on. Which is so sad. Pumbaye, talk to me. Or should we say Eric tonight? Eric Cantona. Talk to me. How you doing, bro?
Yes, my brother. Yes, my brother. Good evening, Therapy Army. Yeah, I had to pull Eric out, man. That's the guy that deserves a statue outside Old Trafford, bro. He should have.
100%. 100%.
And when,
100%.
yeah, man. Do you know what I mean? I just love the man. I don't know what to tell you. So we're
Everybody
talking.
loves Eric.
Yeah, how
To
can
me,
you
I
not,
find
man?
you strange if you do not love Eric as a
Yeah,
human being.
something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Um, well, first and foremost, um, big up. Sending my thoughts out to the people of Palestine, first and foremostly, and everybody else that is being unjustly treated in this world. And as you say, they have polished medals and sharpened smiles. These are the real monsters of the world that we live in, unfortunately, and we have to stand up and be counted, every single one of us. Even if you've got one follower, do your bit. Think against it. If you can, post against it. If you can, fight against it. But it's our duty now. This is a collective effort to hold on to our humanity, because our conscience will not have it any other way unless you don't have a heart or a conscience. And it is that simple at the moment. I've never seen anything like this. This is a crazy, crazy regime, this Israel. Um, 11 to 12,000 people have been killed. Think about that for a second. 11 to think of Old Trafford, 75,000 people. 11 to 12,000. Man, I don't even want to get into what I'm seeing, nightmare stuff. But anyway, a distant second is football, and that's what we're here for. So, Mr. Ratcliffe, the 25% man, I'm not sure. I've heard that there are going to be some wholesale changes made. I think Murtaugh is going, um, and there's going to be some overhauls.
Arnold. Arnold is going. Arnold's been announced. Arnold.
Oh, is
The
Murtaugh staying
CEO.
or going?
Neto, we don't know yet, but Arnold's definitely going, apparently.
I mean, look, if let's deal with the first part of this, yeah, which is, are we happy that we have somebody that didn't buy the club outright? No,
Yes.
25% is not what we're looking for. Now it's done.
Yeah.
I'm not, we're a little bit in the dark about how this is going to actually look and how it's going to function.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this 25%, bro, with a view to the other 75% at a certain point? Have
Mhm.
the Glazers said to Jim, look, here's 25%, above the asking price, fine. But in an unspoken agreement, um, we want you to administer this club. You're a successful businessman. You've built a lot of, businesses, blah, blah, blah. Um, we have no choice now but
Mhm.
to hold Jim accountable for whatever it is that he is saying and doing. Is it a good start to get rid of Arnold?
And to me, Arnold was just a lackey. He didn't make any big decisions. Joe Glazer made all
Okay,
the decisions that mattered in the football club.
okay.
So it was Joe Glazer that made that decisions, and it is what it is. Big up to you, Khalid Ramadan. Last day, I think Richard Al's leaving the club for the first. Quite a few changes at Manchester United over the next few days. Okay, that's what it says. But for me, I want to just talk about him and say he's the lackey. He was just a prop. You know what I mean? He's just a prop. He didn't make any of the big decisions. And you know what he did in all the decisions that he's supposed to have made. But Joe Glazer's running the ship. And looking forward, Mumbai, I don't know if you've heard, but just to explain to you, the new football department is going to head by Arnold, David Bradford's, David, is his
Sorry,
name?
didn't you just say Arnold is going?
No, not Arnold. Sorry, Joe Glazer, Jim the Radcliffe, and David Bradsfield, who's Jim Radcliffe's guy, right?
Okay.
What does Joe Glazer know about football unless he's the major shareholder? He's going to make the decisions.
So these
It's
are the three people you're saying that are going to take
That's
over
what we heard. That's what we're hearing.
the.
That's what we're
Okay.
hearing. Yeah. And then they're going to hire a CEO. And apparently, this guy who was at Juventus for a long time, he is the one apparently that's been lined up. But all of these are just, that's what I'm saying to you. It feels like all of this is, the guy's name's blank, by the way. That's what has been reported in the British media. But
Okay.
that's why we're talking about all of this, because I'm saying it. Jim Ratcliffe's 25% PR machine. That's what it is. It's just a machine, because they're coming out. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. You're going to do what? What's that going to do to help the football club? What is that going to do? Unless, if what's that going to do? What's all these checks going to do, Bumbaye? If Joe Glazer, the decisions are still with Joe Glazer, final decision. What's the point? Why are you hiring people? Because Murta and Arnold were doing Joe's bidding anyway. So what is changing? What is changing? Other than that, Old Trafford would get a little bit of a lick of paint. Yeah, that'll happen. What else? What else is going to happen?
Well, bro, look, yeah. Think of this. Let's open this up a little bit, because it's a bit closed at the moment. It's closed because if we stop at Jim the Rat, and this is just a personal interest, nobody's interest. He's not interested in doing anything, and he's not going to have any power to take this club in a different direction with the blessings of the Glazers, with a view to taking it over permanently. You know, he could be priming it now for the full takeover. Then this show is effectively, that's it. That's the show. Now, what you could ask is, there is a sense in me that feels maybe Jim Ratcliffe is going to be given space to start to build this club and make some changes that haven't been made before. Are they going to work? Are they not? I'm not sure. But I'd ask myself, okay, on the basis that let's just go hypothetical and say, Glazers have said, look, we know you're not a majority shareholder, Jim, but we want you to be the GM. Act like a GM. Take the club in a direction that you feel is going to improve us wholesale, and do that. And we'll give you that reign, because that's part of the deal for you to, build on your investment for the future and take over the club later on. So, what do we want from Jim Ratcliffe? What are some immediate things that you think Jim and the guys in the comments could do to maybe get this thing called Man United, this ship steering in a good direction? What could it be? What's up with you? You keep looking to the left. What's going on? You're muted.
Scholes has caught a mouth and he's playing football with it.
Let him enjoy, man. It's probably better than watching United. Let him have a kickabout.
Honestly, I'm not lying to you. I'm thinking, why is he running around like this? He's bloody caught a mouse.
That's what cats do, man. I mean, they keep the house nice and clean for you.
Brought it in, from outside, honestly.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God,
food
chain,
man.
From outside. Honestly.
Food chain.
Yeah. It's not a food chain. He doesn't even eat. He just wants to play with it. That's why I keep looking, because he keeps running past my legs. What are you doing, you little rascal? Get out! Come out now, Scholesy.
Have you had Scholesy done? Have you snipped him?
Yeah,
took away his right to reproduce.
He got snipped when he was like 13 weeks old, mate. Scholesy!
What kind of love is that? You chop a man's piece off, man. What's going on with that?
Listen, you can't be impregnating cats around here, mate. It's a cat house in this building. Yeah, listen. Honestly, that's proper throwing me off. Oh, God.
Right, so look, did you hear what I was saying? Let's open this up a little bit. I'm asking you, yeah. There's no point in doing a show. We know we don't like Jim and we don't like how it's happened. But look,
no, I'm trying to be objective. I'm just trying to understand.
Let me ask you this.
With 25%, if I had 69, if I represent 69% and you bought 25% of 69%, right?
I have no say. Fine. But it could be PR, it could be not. But let's take this show down an avenue where we can start to put a little bit of a net around Jim to find him out. And how we're going to do that is by me saying to you, okay, the Glazers have said to Jim Ratcliffe, you're not a majority shareholder, but we want you to act as a GM. Listen, forget the mouse. Deal with it. It's in. We want you to act as a GM, and you are free to maneuver and make wholesale changes
Bombay, listen, you keep
on your
talking about
investment.
this.
On your on.
You keep
Listen.
talking about this. I'm gonna deal with the mics because I'm not having him bleed all over everywhere. I'm not having it. I'm not having the
Okay,
mouth bleeding everywhere. So
go
Carol,
sort your mouse out. So people in the comments, yeah, um, what do you think Jim Ratcliffe could do um, to start improving it? What would make you take a little bit to Jim if he's given the room to work? What do you guys think? Um, that there are some immediate things, small things in the near future that could be done. Perhaps address the stadium. You can reshuffle the hierarchy in terms of the employees. What we seem to be doing a lot of is really bad transfer business. Um, and you look across the pond at City, at Liverpool, at Brighton, they have a committee that seems to really know about transfers. They find really good players and they offer them up to the manager. Like Mohamed Salah has been an absolute revelation. He'll go down as one of Liverpool's greatest of all time. He's exceeded all expectations. Firmino was another one. Um, these guys were not wanted by the managers, but it was the committee that said, look, we think this is a better option for you. This player has the type of things that your football needs. That tells me there is you've got football people there because they understand what the manager's trying to do, which is how they find the players with the right attributes and they give him to the manager. So Klopp didn't want Salah, but in the end he took him, and look how that's worked out. You have Manchester City that brought the entire staff from Barcelona. We seem to have a lot of misses. What we tend to do is pay over the odds. We never bail on it. And if you look at a lot of our transfers, man, there's very, very little successes in them. Um, I mean, you look at Varane. It's not been a revelation. I think Casemiro for £70 million. He had a good season last year, but you judged that one. Sancho, um, not quite doing it. This is the second manager, I think. Anthony, the totally jury's out. Mason Mount is one that he was fighting like the Blaze for, and a lot of the fans didn't want Mace. And so far, I did want Mace. I'll put it out there. But so far, I'm looking. I'm thinking, it's not really looking good. Why? Why is that happening? So, talk to us in the comments, man. Do you have any solutions? What can Jim do to endear himself to us? Immediate changes. Um, while Dino's clearing up the mouse. Right, so here we go. Joining the Glazers gang has worsened the situation. Scolesy caught Sir Jim's trying to listen in on the stream. De Bruyne assisting Drake instead. Ratcliffe sold out and betrayed me as a United fan. He can F off. All what come from English media is all shit. Yeah, no doubts. Anything that comes out of the BBC, Sky, the usual, man. Man, if they're lying about the war, they're going to blag you about football. So always bear that in mind, a disaster. But what's you know what, boys? Think about what we're saying here, because this debate. Let's open it up and put Jim Ratcliffe through the acid test, because in the coming months, if he can't do anything and nothing happens, then he's a dud. He's just another
okay.
guy.
Let me
But if he can, what kind of ideas have you got? I was
let me
just
lay
saying,
it out for you. Yeah, let me lay it out for you.
Go on.
Jim Ratcliffe got involved in the world boat chasing. It's one of the great races in the world, right?
I know
He
it.
got involved in that. The first year the guy did fantastic. The second year it was embarrassing. Nice, he's been there all these years. He's not won a trophy. They might be top of the league right now, but that's after 12 games gone, right? It's not until the end of the season. So we'll have to see about that. he took over Sky, his cycling team. They're not that great. They're struggling. So Mercedes not doing that great. So where are we? Where the hell are we when it comes to all of this? At the end of the day, there are some people who say about the INEOS curse. They come over, they get involved in whatever sport, the curse is there. So at the end of the day, I'm just trying to pre-warn, like I always do, because I'm always fucking telling you lot that I'm the vindicator. I'm pre-warning you, do not fall for the PR bullshit. The people who are twerking and getting giddy all over social media, I'm just letting you know, look into INEOS. Do your own research. Look into INEOS. Do your own research. Let me just get this super chat. Big up ticket 101. Any of you saw the Rashford chance? Trent delivers it on a
Sorry,
silver
mate.
platter.
I've given up on international football. I cannot tune in to watch England play Malta, man. I'd rather do some wash the dishes, or, clip my toenails, man. Anything else. I cannot tune in for this shit no more. It's shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to watch that?
Listen, at the end of the day, listen, there's 100 of you here. Please smash a like on the video. Let me just get this quickly. Big up to Ticket 101. Let me just finish the super chat. Did any of you saw Rashford's chance? Trent delivers it on a silver platter by Rashi's feet and he messes it up. Listen, Rashford is injured, came off injured. Unana injured for Cameroon tonight. Injury list is getting bigger and bigger. There's going to be some games, and we got the tough games coming up. Big, tough games coming up, people.
I think I'll give Southgate one more tournament, then that'll be it.
Yeah, Seedorf passed away, Rajat. You got run over, man.
Oh, man.
It still hurts, man. It still hurts. Still hurts. But thank you, bro. Honestly, it is what it is. Listen, Bumbaye says here, Bumbaye, look, I'm not Radcliffe twerker, but like you said a few episodes ago, Everton, I need someone challenge him, and that's great, I guess. Yeah, we'll have to see. Like I said, we'll have to see about these things. But I'm just pre-warning you, because I always have to warn you about these things, people. I always warn you, and then some of you get giddy, and then I'm always like, I've been vindicated. So another thing, we look into INEOS's involvement in sport. Look into it. Every sport they've got, in every different type of sport they go into, they have a little peak and then down. No long-term success. So for me, 25% does not give you anything. But people want to talk about the Arnold sacking. I saw so many people celebrating on Twitter. And I'm like, oh my God, it's probably me. I'm not doing a good job in letting you guys know that it was Joe Glazer that made the decisions. And every time people talked about it, I always said to people, listen,
yeah, you got a super chat here, pal.
Yeah, we don't need, I always said, we don't need Arnold or Meta, because Joe Glazer does it. And it's something called Glazer-nomics. Big up Steve says, we have a defensive midfielder, Everton's captain, who can't run. Wingers, apart from Canacho, are clueless. Strikers, though, we can't run for nothing. Of course we can. Big up to you, big up AK as well. I have to get rid of the Deadwood and no more Simmer Frame FC. We need young, fresh players. Well, listen.
Hey, look, you've got a super chat. Ticket 101 says, I'd rather watch Nuruddin's Cats than see England play Mumbai. Me too, bro. Me too.
Big
I'm
up
right there with you.
Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Skulls, have you calmed down yet? I had to take, honestly, you know what I did? I just, surreal. I had to put that mice in a bag and take it all the way to the bins. That's what I had to do. That's what I had to do, man. I'm not having that little mice bleeding all over the place. Ratcliffe'S looks at the way the club operates, equivalent to when you're in your garden, lift up the paving slab, and all the creepy crawlies just run off.
Look,
But that's a decent.
I think
Chicken 101, yeah, he passed away. Seedorf passed away. This is months ago. Where you guys been, eh? He passed away. Seedorf passed away. No, not Clarence Seedorf. Seedorf the cat, not Clarence Seedorf. Yeah, but Seedorf, my cat, passed away. Not Clarence Seedorf. Clarence Seedorf is alive and kicking. And we wish him many, many more years in this world, in this planet, man. We hope that he's alive. My cat, which was called Seedorf, has passed on. Right, that's what happened. So please don't let Clarence Seedorf come and come and sort me out here, come after me, and I'm pronouncing no. The cat was called Cedar. This one's called Scozy. The other cat was called Cedar. All right, just clarify it because I don't want to get clipped up talking about Clarence. No music vids. No, not Clarence Cedar.
Look, I'd say
Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Listen, so the biggest thing is this, like, I've not done a good job in explaining that Joe Glazer's run the machine of what is Manchester United. And I do not see anybody else. So, and if everybody's talking about, so the question I want to ask you, right? If Joe Glazer's still running things, Bombay, this club guy, Paul Mitchell, is a director of football. So club guy's going to be the Blanc, not club, Blanc. B-L-A-N-C.
Is he any good? Is he any good? Do you know anything about him?
Well, that's what's been reported. He is very good, apparently. You know, when Juventus went down, remember when Juventus got relegated?
Yeah.
He was the guy who came and basically stirred the shit, made sure that big players stayed to get Juventus promoted.
We look like we're going down, so we need the ship to be sorted out. So maybe it's the right dude.
Maybe. But the Bombay at Juventus, he was fully trusted and was given a free reign to sort the club out. You know how the Glazers have run Manchester United. And let me finish. In the last decade, has been Joe Glazer is the major decision maker.
He is.
Yes.
And
there's a thing. Let me educate, because this the bit this the bit where you don't know. You don't really pay attention to this bit. You just pay attention to the games. I know that. I know that you've said that. Guys, there's over 100 of you. How many likes have we got on the video? Jamie Wayne, let's sort out the likes, man. What's going on? Get on it. Big up Khalees as well. Big up Lilas. I'll say it, and I'll say this. Fergie left. They gave control for some years to Woodward. Woodward was the guy who's a banker playing like football manager. He thought he was playing football manager. Absolute disgrace. Then after that, they took control. Joe Glazer took control. Even when, to be fair, even when Joe was there, Joe and Woodward were making the decisions. Woodward was another lackey. And then Arnold became Joe's new lackey. Lackey, mind you, he's just a steward. He's just a shopkeeper. He's just a shop manager. You know, he's not the boss that makes the big decisions. So if we were to get Blanc, if we were to get Paul Mitchell, right, who's a director of football, apparently we're linked with Dougie Freeman as well, who's at Crystal Palace. He's done a good job at Crystal Palace, to be fair. They've got some really good young players, really good players.
And an actual footballer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, remember how many players they let go? They let go of so many players, and then they got a team now. So Dougie Freeman will link with Maldini, but the strong rumours are it's going to be Paul Mitchell and this fellow who's a CEO called Plank. Right? They're the two that's coming in.
Jamie, like the fucking vid. That's it, job done.
Pick up, Jamie.
No messing about.
None of this shit, Jamie. We just tell it as it is, mate. Like the effing vid. Big up to you. So the big thing is that what's been in operation, right? So every CEO, every manager has had to work under something called Glazer-nomics, because we're traded in a New York Stock Exchange, and it is true from the news that the past couple of days, what's been coming out is that Ratcliffe, so the Glazers own 69%. Then there is 31% that is floated in a New York Stock Exchange, right?
Okay.
Do you understand that, Bombay? So the Glazers own, as a family, 69%, which is Joe. Joe's in charge. Avram is just his lackey. Avram is the one that flies everywhere. And by the way, what an absolute disgrace. None of them came to the memorial at Bobby Charlton's funeral. None of them. Absolute disgrace. But anyway.
Let me just clarify one thing so I understand you. 69% is held by the Glazers, which leaves 31% floating, which Jim has 25 thereof.
No, this is what I'm going to break it down for you. Apparently, he's going to get 12.5% from the 31 that's floated, because shareholders, the reason why the shares went up when we were linked with Sheikh Jazin, right? When we were linked with him, it's because they thought, "Ooh, we're in the money here," and loads of people were buying the shares of the 31% that was floated. The share price has now come down to, I think, about 15 or something like that. It was over 23 when Jazin was in the race, right? 92 Foundation was in the race. So, because it's against the law, because the Glazers have said they're looking for investment or a sale, they can now, Ratcliffe just can't just buy from the Glazers shares. So what? And the Glazers still want to have the dominant. They still want to have control of the football club. So apparently he's going to get, this is what's alleged, 12.5% from the Glazer shares, 12.5% from the 31 that's floated.
Okay, so that gives you a total of 25. I understand that. Now, look, what I'd say to you is, like I said at the top of the show, bro, nobody in our fan base was ecstatic when we heard we're not going to be bought outright and rid of the Glazers. Everybody would like that. We've got a guy in. Now, what I'm trying to do here is say to you, there's no twerking. I understand, twerk about what? We've not seen anything yet. Talk is cheap.
But people are already twerking. That's the problem.
Okay. Maybe
because
what I'd say to them
that's
is
why we're critiquing Abumbaye. Tonight's show is mainly looking at the propaganda machine that's coming out.
Can I ask you a question, bro?
It's unbelievable, and fans are already getting excited about what? You don't even know the fucking details.
Exactly. So what I'd say to the fans that are twerking, I think a lot of fans, bro, they've been so traumatized that they're just on a glimmer of hope, or there's a little bit of delusion or premature ejaculation, let's say, because my man has to show us, one, if he's going to be given the room as a 25% shareholder to do anything. That's number one. And number two, what is he going to do? Now, there are some immediate short-term fixes or improvements that he can make. Those are and those don't require a lot of major investment. We have structural problems in the club, and you can tell we have them. Why? Our transfer policies are the worst. Many of our transfers flop, and many of our transfers
this is the point I wanted to come.
This
is the
point financially awful.
So the reason why we do horrendous in a transfer is because we're run on a certain thing called Glazer-nomics. Now let me explain Glazer-nomics to you. They judge things when we sign a player. They don't look at the quality like most football teams do. They don't look at the quality of the player. They look at, because they need it to make a sense in a financial spreadsheet. Glazer-nomics is, they look at the length of the contract and how much they're paying for the player. That's why they never want to sell a player other than get rid of youth players, because that's all 100% profit back into their pockets. Majority of the season, majority of the summer transfer, we sold, including Fred, we sold majority of players who were homegrown players.
Yes,
academy players.
Yes,
almost 50 million they recuperated. That's pure profit for them, for the Glazers.
Sure.
Right?
I think
if they were to sell somebody who
substantial,
and they don't get a decent money for it, they take a loss. Like, for example, at Di Maria, actually, United made a bit more because the way they sold Di Maria, what we bought him, and obviously he was only here for a season, wasn't he? Then they sold him, and then they actually made a little bit more, right? So Lukaku was the same. Sanchez, it was a write-off. They were paying him like they paid the majority of these managers, paying them over years. So at the end of the day, it's incredible, absolutely incredible what's going on. By the way, we've been linked with Maldini. Big up to Jermaine Wayne. He says here, Jamie Wayne. So he says the share price is now 19. Yeah, so I don't want to be misquoted. So it's not 15, it's 19. And apparently, Jim Ratcliffe, the rat, is buying those shares. One share, £33 per share, or 33 per share. That's what he's buying. So he's paying way over the odds. Right? That's what he's doing. Big up to Gina. Maldini didn't really do a good job at Milan. He had more misses hits in terms of transfer. He bought Dico Rudy, gave him 4-year contract. Big name, yes, but he hasn't. Yeah, 100%. That guy, I don't know where that guy's gone. That guy's probably injured. Big up. So Jim is getting 25% of Glazer 69. That will take the Glazer ownership to 52. And the 25 in investment is on a condition that he takes over the football operations.
That's not what you said, is it? You said he's going
No,
to get 12.5
yeah,
of the 69.
that is what's been. Oh God, I keep biting my lip. That's what's been reported.
So that'll be 56.5, and he's going to get 12.5 out of the 31 remaining floating
Yeah,
shares.
that is what's been reported in the UK, Windy. I don't know what in the US. Maybe that's Bloomberg. Please let us know where your source is, where you heard that.
But look,
that what's been quoted in the UK tonight is that that's what's happening, or this evening. That was what was happening. But it could be wrong. It could be wrong. He might be buying 25%. Big up, Khalees says, Patrick will take over interim CEO in addition to existing role as a general counsel, with Richard Arnold continuing to provide transitional support until the end of December.
that's normal. That's normal. You know,
Yeah,
you've got
that's
to
normal.
pass it
Yeah.
over. That's not what I'd say is, bro. Do you know, irrespective of how it's going to be done, whether it's 12.5
Let me just
here,
get these
there,
super chats. I'm missing super chats. 1 second, bro. There we go. Big up to Ticket 101.
you read this one,
that one I read.
and that one you read. Rather watch
What about
the.
this one here?
Yeah, you read that. Trent rash his feet. He messed it up.
Okay, I think he just gifted them. Like, big up to you, bro. I think you quoted 2 chats the same. You
No,
sent them
no.
for.
There's 2 different chats. 2 different. He only put 2. There's only been 2 super chats. I'm
No.
looking at it.
Look, there's 1,
Yeah, and
2,
2. That's it.
3, and 4. No, he's repeated them twice with a super
He
chat. Same question.
Nick means business. He really means that.
Anyway, listen. Big up.
Let me just say this, bro. Uh, Irrespective of how the shares are acquired and accumulated from which side, the Glazer family remains a majority shareholder. Correct? So on that basis, bro, look, Jim, forget the twerking and stuff. Does Jim want a return on his investment? And how is Jim looking at this football club? Is he looking at it as a business, how it's run, structured, stuff like that? Has Jim got any experience in football? I don't know. Has he? Has Jim had anything to
Say that
do with
again.
football? Has Jim Ratcliffe got any experience in football?
Well, let
Is
me
he in?
tell you, he owns
Yeah.
a club. He owns a
Is,
club in Switzerland. They're not doing that. Like I said, none of his teams in football have won any trophy. Nice have not won a trophy.
but are
They
they
were
doing
top of the
well?
league or second in the league or whatever they were. But it's
Yeah.
only 12 games gone. So not reading too much into that, right? Teams have been top of the league for a long time and then boom, they drop off, right? So
But what I'd say, do you know?
his success on the football pitch is being disgraceful, to be fair. It's not been great.
I don't expect Nice to win anything against PSG and Monaco. But
Monaco are
if
not even that great anymore, by the way. It's usually Lyon or Marseille that do a little bit here and
yeah,
there.
I mean, bro? What I'm trying to do here is what I'm trying to say is I don't expect Nice. They're an outside bet. It's a small place, but what do they look like from where he picked them up? Are they better? Is it looking a bit good? Is he giving him an insight into a football club?
Well,
This is.
yeah.
Do,
Apparently,
do
this
you know what
season
I'm trying to say?
they've had a fantastic start to the season. This season, but he's owned them for the past 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, look, if he was to come in, bro, and like I say, the Glazer said, look, I mean, Sonny 95 says something here that I don't really have an answer to. I'm playing a hypothetical game. He says, I don't believe anything changes. If all we need is structure and a what's a DOF? Director of football. Why would the Glazers give up a quarter of the club when they could hire someone to do it? Actually, I do have an answer for that. It's purely financial.
Exactly.
They have
They needed the
received
money.
the valuation of the club that Jim Ratcliffe has paid 1.8 billion for 25% of the club. That takes us up to nearly the 7 billion mark. Um, and don't forget Sony 95. Sheikh Jassim wasn't going to 6, he would have given him an outright buy. This way, the valuation is closer to 7. Yeah. I think Sheikh Jassim went up to 5.4 billion, was it, Dino?
Something like that.
Something like 5.4, 5.6. So that's 400. Well, there's a lot of money extra at that valuation, and they get to stay until he's ready to take it over and continue to reap even more dividends. Aren't they taking about 70 mil a year as a family from the club for their own personal pocket? I mean,
Yeah, man.
yeah. So why would you give that up? So I think that's purely financial. But bro, if Jim's going to come in, and if Jim wants to is given some room by the Glazers, because Jim's saying, look, I've paid you over the odds for this. I want some return on my investment, so I need to have some room to work because I think I can do a better job than what you've done. We need to restructure. There needs to be more help for the manager because look, he might be a good manager, Eric Ten Hag, right? But at the moment, all the managers were doing a lot of misses in the transfer market.
Facts.
And I just was saying when you went to sort the mouse out, I gave an example. Klopp didn't want Salah, I didn't know this. But the guys that are above him that are working with him, two things happened. One, they said to him, look, we've identified Mohamed Salah as a guy that's going to be brilliant because we understand how you want to play. And this is what Klopp is working with. And it was the same with Firmino under Brendan Rodgers. It was that group of guys that said to Brent, said, look, this is the guy. So Eric Ten Hag might be a good manager, but maybe he's not great at signing players. He's signing players maybe like Anthony thinking, I know him. I mean, I've had him before. I was at Ajax. But maybe you need somebody like a Maldini, like I don't know, whoever, I don't know the names, that says, right, Eric, I know exactly what you're trying to do as a manager because I'm a football guy. These are the players that you need to be looking at. Have a look at this guy. I know you wanted Anthony, but maybe check this guy out. So maybe he needs some help. You could be a great manager, but sometimes you might just not be picking them right, or your motives for picking them might not be quite on point. If you have a committee or somebody that's working with you, not above you, with you, in the interest of getting the right personnel, it's nice to have a neutral set of eyes with no personal. I don't play for Ajax. I don't know Anthony. I'm identifying a player because I want the manager to have the right tool to do this really good job and execute it. So if Jim's going to start doing that, okay, great. I mean, if he gets it wrong, he gets it wrong. I don't know, but we've not really done anything substantive in that department. As you say, bro, who've we had in there? It's all been a bit second-rate bullshit with no pedigree and no track record. Murtaugh, as you said, he was the under 21 guy. But if we go and get somebody with a track record like this Blanc guy, you're saying, he's done something, right? He's got some experience. It's a big club, Juventus. He's done some good work. And we're in a position where we need somebody with a bit of that. Okay, bring him in. Maybe we can get rid of a few of these players. Maybe we can let the Glazers see the wisdom and look, we're going to have to take a few losses because these players have bombed and we're not going to get anything near what we got for them. But this is a new regime now, and we are going to start signing players because they're the right players. Because these are the players that are going to allow the manager to do what he needs to do. And these are the kind of things that I think will tell me a little bit more about Jim Ratcliffe in the near future. Read the developing stadium, things like that. This is miles away. I think I wouldn't expect that of anybody that doesn't own the club outright. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, big up the mix. Big up, brother. I hope you and the family are well. It says, you guys, please smash a like on the video. No, and sacrifice. Yeah, man. Trust me. Sacrificing. I've got a cold as well. I just can't get rid of these colds. Like the video, people. The question is, Natalie, big up Natalie. He's still got her own test done. He's going to be involved in the club. I think he's going to pass that test. Get a grafting heart trumba. Yes.
Grafting
Big up.
tombstone.
Yeah, big up.
What's
Shout
it
out,
gonna
man.
say?
Callie.
What's that tombstone gonna say, man?
Yeah, Jim. Yeah, I don't know. R.I.P. Jim Ratcliffe's a clown. I don't trust him or the Glazers.
Me
But by
neither. I don't trust them. I don't trust any of them. Do you know what I would say though? He's a businessman, right, Dino?
yeah.
Right, guys,
Listen,
he's a
and this is
businessman.
it, and this is what supports your argument. Radcliffe is not going to come in without an ironclad agreement. He's not going to put money in unless he gets what he wants. Well, for me, 25% to me makes it that you're not making any decisions.
I think, look, look, you don't have to be a majority shareholder to say to somebody, look, I understand it's with you, but I am giving you this 1.8, but we need to have some clauses in place so I can have some GM responsibility to change the fortunes of the club. It's like me saying to you, look, I will give you some money to invest in this nightclub with you, but I've got to be able to make a few changes. Otherwise, how am I going to get a return on my investment by taking us forward? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but then the decision maker still. That's what I'm saying to you. What is alleged now is that it's going to be David Brailsford, Jim Radcliffe, and Joe Glazer. So for me, what the press are saying as well, so because they're speaking both sides of their mouth like they do with anything, Bombay,
Sure,
as you know.
sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? As you know, like
I
even when it comes to human life and war and stuff, they
Oh yeah,
they
hundred
speak. They,
percent.
you know the whatever. So what they're saying is that the Glazers are going to stay in charge of the commercial stuff. So if the Glazers are staying in charge of the commercial stuff, why is Joe Glazer on the footballing head of the footballing pyramid as well?
I
Like I just
mean,
don't get it.
is that cement
What does
though?
he know about football? Yeah, that's what it's been said. Bumbaya Mitchell did an interview a few years back, and he said the club has no identity, the way they want to play, and they fit players to that. So if the manager changes direction, the direction remains. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, that's what is. But the reason why we've never been like that, Windy Grant, is because, like I explained before, Glazer-nomics does not allow that because we sign players on something called, look it up. People, if you're into accounting and that, book value. We sign players because of how it looks on the spreadsheet. We don't. That's why we can't get rid of players. Man City can buy 5 crap players tomorrow. They can just get rid of them, like they did. Look, remember how many defenders that he signed? Pep Guardiola. Liverpool signed so many different players. Just move them on. Bam. Get the next players in. That's what they do. Look, you know that season when all the players were injured. Yeah,
Think
Liverpool signed all these defenders, right, left, and centre.
it's
Where are they
unreal.
now? They've all gone.
Mm,
Replaced. Manchester United. We only sell youth players. We don't sell many big stars, and the only people who really want to go is the people who either seen out their contract, like David De Gea, like Nemanja Vidic, like Paul Pogba. You know what I mean? These guys, Jesse Lingard, these guys who have just seen out their contracts. So it's going to be very interesting.
I
But I
think.
just
Look,
want to get into this. I just want to bring in the next
yeah,
topic for some of
sure,
you guys.
sure.
Yeah, it's just
Can I just reply to Wendy quickly?
yeah.
Good evening, Wendy. I understand. We had this with when Van Gaal came in. Um, I thought we were really going somewhere. I just felt we had a lot of injuries, but we had some really good qualities as a team that I hadn't really seen from Man United under Ferguson. Qualities that weren't synonymous with our counter-attacking style. But what I'd say to that is, um, what is the modern day equivalency of a permanent style of play that we have to get the manager in to uphold that? Because Liverpool's style of play has changed on the club and they've been very successful. Manchester City have never played anything like this in their life and they've been really successful. Brighton are not known to play this kind of football. They're doing really well. So I think there is pros and cons to what Wendy's saying. Well, what Paul Mitchell has said and what Wendy's saying to us here.
But
If
the
you
point that,
have,
but the point that
co-
we want to make, Bumbaye. So let me just come in there in that moment. Is that will Joe Glazer allow these fucking people to do their jobs, or will it be the same as it's been for the past fucking decade? That's
it
the
could
question.
be, yeah. Well, it could be exactly as you say, dreadful because we don't have continuity because people get a little bit scared and the finances are primary and the football is secondary, and that's just the sad reality. But with regards to the actual question itself, the pros of that is every time you get a manager that wants to play a certain way, you're going to have to get loads of new players and get the old ones out. And the rate at which we relieve managers of their duties is not going to help us with any sort of sustainable continuity going forward.
No.
So if you had, let's say we're saying, look, we want to play this style of football, and you as a manager have to come in and buy into that. You can't bring your own style. You might be able to put your own little twist on it, but this has to stay. Kind of like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Or you get a manager, and you don't tell him how to suck eggs. You say, right, we're paying you top dollar because you're a mint manager. Yeah, we're going to give you the resources. We've got a good team there for you to get players and stuff. Um, and this is the mandate. If you think you're up for the job, come and do it in your image. That's fine. So there's pros and cons to that argument, and that's my honest assessment of it.
Mm. But Bombay, the only thing I would say, if we go for what Windy say in the Mitchell way,
Yeah,
managers, Manchester United won't hire managers; they will hire first team coaches.
first team coaches. Okay, what do
That's what
you?
But
Yeah,
big up. Let me just get this quite super important. Matthias says, big up to you, legends. I had the privilege and honor to meet the Palestinian ambassador in Ireland, Dr. Julian Wabe, and Magina Dad on Fane Fees last week. Yeah, the conference for. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the reception she's got. I saw the wonderful way all the speakers spoke. And Ireland and Palestine will always be like this. They can never
honestly,
be separated. They can never and will never be separated. They are so bonded. It's unbelievable. Ireland and Palestine will always be bonded. So big up to you, Martinez, and up the bloody Irish. Up
up,
the fucking Irish.
up the
Always.
Irish, up the Irish,
Up the
hundred
Irish.
percent.
Always, man.
Honestly,
Big up.
there's a woman that I keep coming across, man. She's unbelievable.
Yeah,
She's got
yeah, yeah.
long
She's got the
hair.
European Union. Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
right.
saw her.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
She's the only class in that outfit. And then there's another guy that I've been watching for years, an Irish guy,
Yeah, yeah.
short hair,
Yeah, yeah. He's a
fantastic
member
guy.
of parliament. Yeah.
Do you know, honestly, it gives me some faith and some hope. When I hear people
Yeah.
at governmental level, like in Ireland, speaking that way,
And South
it's
Africa as
incredible.
well. South Africa. I posted a lot of South
100%.
Africa.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
South Africa. Yeah.
I got them. That guy is no messing about.
Yeah.
Um,
Julius Malema tells it as it is, mate. Tells it as it is. People don't want to hear about it. David, humanity triumphs, religion, sectarian genocide going on in the Congo's still a 100%.
Man,
100%.
I came out of my mother's womb and I know about that Congo. That's
Yeah,
one that just
yeah.
goes under there,
And guess who's
pillaged.
behind all of it? Guess who were part of assassinating the leader, Patrice Lumumba, one of my heroes?
Isn't it the
It was
French?
the French, the British, and the Americans. Yeah.
Patrice Lumumba, yeah.
And they still have all their dirty hands in there. The governments, not the people. Got nothing against the French people. Nothing against the people in the US. Got nothing against the British people. And by the way,
It's not the people.
listen, the
It's not the
people,
people.
to me, what's giving me incredible and this difficult time watching the horror, the genocide that we're watching, is that the amount of people coming out doing incredible actions, the amount of people
Yeah.
doing incredible things in the
Really.
streets and everywhere, and people coming together. The other night outside Central Library, Manchester, St. Peter's Square, we had the Jewish and Muslim vigil, Jews for Justice, Jews for Justice in Palestine, and Muslims and non-believers and queer people and everybody came together to do a candlelight vigil, and it was amazing. It was absolutely
Bro,
amazing. That was
look,
last night. It was last night. What am I talking about? It's last night.
absolutely. There's a complete fabrication and lie
Yeah.
that anybody has. Um, Anti-Semitism is when you hate somebody because they're Jewish, irrespective of what they are as a human being. And
And we're
Israel is
against that.
not.
That is
Yeah,
one of
of
the
course,
worst racism,
absolutely, absolutely. It's when
horrific
you hate
racism.
somebody on the basis of their skin color. It's all crosses over with that. It's complete ignorant, and it is no surprise. Some of the biggest champions are human beings that belong to the Jewish race, whether practicing or agnostic, but they are human beings and they are in solidarity with the rest of us because this is a conscious fight for our humanity. So there is no problems between Muslims and Jews. The problem is with the state of Israel that is a Zionist project. It is racist,
Ethno state, yeah, it's an ethno state.
right? That's a key
Ethno, what
point.
I mean by
That
ethno nationalists, meaning that
yes,
only
they
only
have the same
Israelis.
superiority complex that Hitler had for his people. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. That's the state of Israel. They believe that they are a superior race and they look at Palestinians as if they are not human.
That's a
This,
fact.
okay, this
That's
is a
why you can
clear
kill.
distinction
That's
you
why you
have to
can kill
make.
11,000,
So,
4,000 children, and
yeah,
in a month. That's why you can do it. But listen, I want the last 5 minutes of the show. Yeah, I want to bring because I genuinely some breaking football news as well. I really want to bring this into the show. So our hearts goes out to the because we're football fans, right?
yeah,
Everton do not choose the people who run their football club. But the people who run their football club in the past decade and a half have been similar to the Glazers. The only difference is that if Everton was big as Manchester United, they would not be because they would have a lot more fans globally and they would make a lot more money. The only difference from Everton, Manchester to the Everton, is that Manchester United with the Glazers, we make a lot more money. But have you seen how many? We're £1 billion in debt. We're still 500 something million in debt with the banks for 17, 18 years. And we own about 400 million to football clubs for players. So it just shows you how Everton has been run dreadfully. And we stand in solidarity with Everton football supporters. And my heart breaks for them because the way that they've been treated, they were deducted 10 points. And guess what? Who's the next club to play them? When the
yeah.
international duty is over next Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday at 4:30, Manchester United.
Battle of
So now,
battle of the worst owners. Battle of the owners.
honestly, it's going to be shocking. So they're going to be well up for that. And what a game! Why couldn't they postpone this 10 points till after we play them, then announce it? It's a stick-top job here. So solidarity and love with Everton supporters because no football fans choose, except for Barcelona. If you buy Munich, I think if you buy Barcelona, Real Madrid, you vote for presidents, right? No other football fans really choose who runs their football club. So solidarity, especially in this country, no fans, well, in the top flight. So solidarity with them. In terms of Man City, still facing 115 charges. We wait and see in it. But one thing I would say about Man City, they've got too many brown envelopes dashing about. Not the white envelopes. Not like these white envelopes. They're dashing out brown ones underneath the table business. So I'd be shocked if they were to get, relegated because of how they behaved. But we'll have to wait and see that. Everton, here we go, handed 10 points penalty after independent commission hearing alleged the breach of Premier League profit sustainability rules. Yeah, the punishment applies. Big up Khalees from applies immediately. So Everton's dropped into relegation zone for now, expected to appeal. Well, I hope they appeal.
Where's the
Question: how can the
justice?
Premier League decide quickly at Everton but can't decide on City's punishment? Because people will say Everton have been investigated a lot longer. So Everton have been investigated more longer than City have.
So are
This
you
has been
saying there
coming
is
in the wake.
something on? Are you saying there's something on the horizon for Man City, or are they going to
Well, there
buy
has
their
to
way
be.
out of this?
There has to be. They were charged with 115 charges. Listen, Man City did this. Man City said they're paying Mancini this amount of money. Then we find out that Mancini was getting paid $1 million and a point from this company in Dubai for
Correct.
consultancy for going there maybe 4 days in a year.
It sounds like a politician's campaign, man.
And City also, one thing that they did 100% is that they try to overvalue in terms of the sponsorships that they were getting. All these companies were sponsoring them from Dubai. And then you look at the level of sponsorship for a team like who's got that kind of fan base, that kind of heritage as Man City. No way are you getting that amount of money to sponsor your football club. So they're in trouble. Hold tight to the Portuguese guy. He's a Portuguese guy. who wanted to expose how footballers and football managers are not paying taxes in Portugal and Spain. Then he came across the files on Man City. Then he sold it to Der Spiegel, which is a media organization, a newspaper in Germany. That's why it came out. City then were clever enough, people, just to remind people, and they drew out the UEFA charged them, but then what they did is UEFA can only charge you, I think, like for so long. After 2 or 3 years, the charges don't apply anymore because there's on a timer on the charges. So City just dragged it out in the courts, timer on the charges, and they got 10 million slap. Remember, they got to pay 10 million. Do you remember? 10 million, and I'm like, if you're not guilty, so what are you paying 10 million?
Yeah, exactly. What are you paying for?
Yeah, so it is what it is. But hey, big up to everybody. Love and light. We've done an hour. I think we've done our best. At the end of the day, for me, I look at this and I think, you are nothing but a machine, PR machine at the moment. And all you twerkers, stop, pull your pants up, pull your G-strings up, stop twerking, stop parting your G-strings, stop bending over and behave yourselves. What you need to do is wait and see the details. The devil will be in the detail. Big up the devil in the detail, my brother. Danny. Go and check out his podcast, by the way. No agenda. No agenda.
Who was the leaker? Who was the leaker? Was it Arnold or the players? Who's leaking stuff out of our club? Do you have any idea?
Manchester United always leak against managers and players, 100%. That is a fact. They've been doing it for a decade. So
we're like a broken pail. Not only do we leak news, we just leak goals now.
That's what we do. That's what
we do. But you know what are we, 6 points off the top?
We're 6 points off the top, man. We're the farm team in the Premier League at this moment in time, my friend.
Yeah, we're scraping.
But we played Burnley. No, we played Sheffield United, played Fulham, Brentford, and Luton.
Fulham.
So Fulham, Luton, Sheffield United, Brentford. And we've beaten them 1-0, 1-0, 2-1, whatever it was.
Newcastle have got some problems, you know. Dan Burn's out till January and Tonali's banned, isn't he?
Yeah. I've DM'd Nuruddin so you can show Everton's statement. Okay, quickly. Let's just have some solidarity with Everton, man.
It's a shame, and it's symptomatic football of modern day government in our country, at least. I'll just speak for us, that the people are paying for private mismanagement of their club. The guy will go on, he will go home to his kids and his pool and shit, and now people might get relegated. One of the most important teams in this Premier League, one of the oldest, Everton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy what's happening, man.
It's horrendous, man.
Let's read it out, people. Everton Football Club, both shocked and disappointed in the ruling of Premier League's commission. The club believes that the commission has imposed wholly disproportionate and unjust sporting sanction. The club has already communicated an intention to appeal the decisions to the Premier League. The appeal process will now commence as the club's case will be heard by an appeal board appointed and persona to the Premier League rules of due course. Everton maintain that this has been it has been open and transparent in the information it has provided to the Premier League, and it has always respected the integrity of the process. The club does not recognize the finding that it failed to act with the utmost good faith, and it does not understand this has been an allegation made by the Premier League during the course of the proceedings. Both harshness and the severity of the sanctions imposed by the Commission are neither fair nor responsible reflection of the evidence submitted. The club will also monitor with great interest the decision made in other cases concerning the Premier League profit and sustainability rules. Everton cannot comment on this matter further until the appeal process has concluded.
Yeah, they're alluding that's a little bit generic, that statement. Obviously, they can't come out and tell you we've completely cocked everything up. That's one. Number two,
we've done a job.
Yeah, we've done a job. You know what I mean? Job done. Number two, they're alluding to obviously Manchester City there. Is it one standard for us because we've not got the big brown envelopes and one standard for them? Are you that easily bought? Can they
I
buy
think
their way
also,
out of it?
yeah, I
And the
think they're
last,
also talking about other clubs that have been done by similar in the past as well.
yeah,
Chelsea apparently facing some as well.
maybe. Do you know what? Maybe the financial investors, the owners of these clubs, there's an incentive because of the way that football is structured. The club that's a business in relation to financial fair play, where they are having to do or they're exploiting the system in this way to suck the club dry. Maybe this should be a change so that there is no incentive for that to happen and it has to be a little bit more organic. Because there's a lot of clubs, man, that are just, it's just crazy. Chelsea's nuts, City's nuts. Everton, I mean, Everton spent a lot of money, man, but they had shit to show for it.
Mm.
By their standards, I remember a transfer window. I think they spent 119 million, which ain't bad going for Everton, and this was a few years ago. So maybe there's an inherent problem that basically it's too tempting for the owners to not play this game like our owners are playing this game. They buy players on the basis of balancing the books instead of what's best for the team. Do you
Yeah,
understand what I mean?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
maybe that needs to be looked at because it's becoming a bit too frequent, and it's not small clubs.
Yeah.
It's the big boys.
Yeah, big up to Jinder. Love and light always. Windy, are you asking me that question? Are you serious? You've been a member of this channel for a long, long time. You've been one of the Therapy Army stalwart people here. And I love always getting your 2 pence on everything that's Manchester United. But it's not a serious question. I rather we don't finish in any European because what's the point going to the Champions League when we can never compete in it? I rather, whether they stick with Ten Hag, Manchester United finished 10th or 8th this season, no Europe, and he coaches the fucking players. That's what I would like. But every fan's different. That's what it would be. Both could get relegated if found to be cheating. Well, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, Manchester City will draw it out because they can pay millions, hundreds of millions to the biggest lawyers in sport, and they will drag this out. So I don't expect them City.
Look,
They got too much money, mate.
Man City are a wonderful team. They're doing great things, but let's have it right. They've spent 2 billion, right? So, I mean, you give me and you 2 billion, we'll make a few things happen. We'll shake things up a little bit. It's a lot of money. Yeah, that's
Listen,
the reality of it.
yeah, we finish up with this saying that solidarity and love. The biggest thing. What gives me hope is the people of the world. So I want to send a little love letter to the people of the world, people who are for humanity, the people who are against genocide, where it be, whether it's in the Congo, whether it's in Sudan, whether it's in Tigray, in Ethiopia, whether the war in Somalia, wherever war is in this world, but especially for the Palestinian people, that they're so slaughtered. And we want to give a shout out to the people and the students in the US. I want to give a shout out to Colombia. I want to give shout out to majority of Latin American countries who are sending the ambassadors, the Israeli ambassadors back. I want to give a shout out to everybody here who's with a good conscience, who's standing up for humanity. Because at the end of the day, if it all goes by, if we cannot agree on the basis of peace and war, then I don't know where. For me, the most dehumanizing thing you can do to the Palestinians is treat them like they're numbers. Every one of those human beings that was slaughtered and murdered by the Zionist regime, the Zionist neo-fascist ethno-state that is Israel, they all count, they're all human beings, mothers, fathers, daughters, sisters, sons, grandsons, granddaughters, newborn babies, new mothers who are just, journalists, nurses, ambulance drivers, doctors. And the biggest thing I want to give is all of the young people, whether they be black, they be white, they'll be religious, non-religious, they'll be queer, they'll be straight, they'll be whatever, gay. I don't care what they are. But the people of the world who recognize humanity and who see that, who really believe in the words of Martin Luther King when he says, if he literally says, literally, he believes, he said, let me get this. 2 seconds. Let me find this quote because I don't want to butcher the quote. I've got it on my Twitter, by the way.
What did he say? Did he say Glazer's
my bio,
out?
my bio. No. Well, the Glazer's out. It says enough is enough. Glazer's out on the top with a banner. It says here, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So let me repeat that. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And that's what I've seen across social media. So all of you, please keep liking, especially if you're boycotting companies, tag the companies, tag the companies on their social media tags. Make sure that the companies that you're boycotting are trending, right? So that's what he says. He says, honestly, it's one of the best quotes I have ever seen.
You know, maybe you should give out actually some of the companies that are openly, brazenly supporting Israel, donating to Israel, keeping Israel.
Everybody knows. I promise you now, Bumbaye. What I've seen on social media, everybody knows who they are.
Everybody knows.
We don't need to. Yeah. So he says, injustice anywhere is the threat to justice anywhere. So at the end of the day, that's what sums it up. And in the past couple of weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that's what I've seen. Last night in the US, you had the Jewish Justice, Jewish Voice for Peace. You had all sorts of different organizations, people trying to do with civil disobedience all over the US. Here, there's people being everywhere. Everywhere. Listen, we don't want to hate people. We hate their government. We hate the racism. We hate the ethno-nationalism. That's what we hate. We hate the supremacy aspect of it. That's what we hate. Braverman, somebody asked me about Braverman before. She's nothing but a two-bit supremacist and a clown. That's what she is. I think it might have been somebody who asked me before, but that's who Suella Braverman is.
Do you know who Suella? If Suella Braverman and Rishi Sunak had to be a character in a film, do you know who they would be? They would be Samuel L. Jackson and Django.
Exactly. There you go. Samuel Jackson in Django. Make career out of humanity. Commit yourself to noble struggle of equal rights. You will make a better person of yourself and a greater notion of your country and a finer world to live in. There you go. Big
man,
up.
You
big
do.
Up.
We do
That's
this.
MLK, mate.
Everything that we do, whether you give somebody charity on the streets, whether you attend a protest, whether you post online, whether you're vocal, there is an element of this that we do for our own personal conscience. So that when the dust settles, man, you can say not only to yourself, you can look in the mirror and palate yourself. You can say to your kids and everybody that, you know what, I was on the right side of this. I'm not for sale. My humanity
100%.
is not for sale.
Listen, I tell you who's for sale. Van Jones embarrassed himself. And he is now that character, by the way, of Django Unchained. His name is Steven. Van Jones is the new Steven of Django Unchained, mate.
Who's Van Jones?
Van Jones is this American. He was an American when he was a student. Actually, he actually wrote a poem saying freedom for Palestine, and then now he's going to pro-war, pro-bombing. When he was saying that he wanted peace for Jews, he wanted peace for Muslims. He misspoke, but the crowd were chanting, no to ceasefire, no ceasefire. This bloodthirsty crowd, he spoke at this event with this bloodthirsty crowd, man. It was just horrible. And they were shouting, no ceasefire. So they want more killing, bloodthirsty, mate. Killing, they want more killing. They want more blood. And if you're going to call them that as anti-Semitic, that's what the fuck they were chanting. That's what the fuck they were chanting. No ceasefire, no ceasefire. That's why they drowned him out. Because they want to see babies get blown up, women, children get blown up.
They haven't seen enough.
Malcolm X says you can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. 100%. Big up, man. Maybe we're able to sour our fellow man truly, our brothers and sisters, peace. May we be able to see our fellow man as truly our brothers and sisters. 100% peace. Let peace reign. Yeah.
100%.
Listen, big up, man.
That's exactly what they're not doing over there.
That's not what they're doing. But anyway, people, we've been live for 1 hour and 15 minutes. We can go into this all this day. Sajinda, of course, we know. Exactly. She's a coconut brown. She is, mate. She's Stephen from Django Unchained, that's what she is. But she's a supremacist, and because she wants to be the leader of the Tory fascist party next year after the election show. That's what she's doing. But anyway, the internet is about to go. It is what it is. Bumbaye, you've been a wonderful guest tonight. We've not got into a heated discussion because we're not talking about shitty Man United on the pitch. It's been an adventurous one. It's been an adventurous one. Scozy has brought a mic in, and it's been crazy. It's been an absolutely crazy one, but it is what it is, people. Love and light. Take care of yourselves. Good night, and we'll see you soon. I'm going to be doing a video actually on Rasmus Højlund, Bumbaye. So look up Rasmus Højlund. Me and you, hopefully we'll get Bumbaye and get Tom as well. A couple of others. We're going to do a video looking at what we think of Rasmus Højlund after 12 games. All right, that'll be coming soon. So we'll let you know. All right, big up to everybody. Love and light. Take care. Good night. Peace.
Good night,
love,
everybody.
light. Win, lose or draw. Glazers out. Bankers out. Jim the Ratcliffe out. And yeah, there we go, people. Peace, love and light, and love to the Palestinian people. They teach the world dignity. They teach the world life. They resist. We pray. We pray. Fuck fucking Zionism. Peace. Take care. Good night.